Last week I had a speaking engagement in New York on Wednesday, so Ernestine went with me back to her old stomping grounds, New York City, baby.
Yep.
And we stayed in her all-time favorite hotel, the Carlisle.
Best hotel in the world.
76th and Madison.
Best.
But let me tell you, those 3 days in New York City did test our marriage, our relationship. Wouldn't you agree?
As usual, yeah.
Okay.
We're always getting tested.
Are we? So it starts with the packing on Monday night.
Yeah,
it's always the packing issue because this was the time where I said, okay, effectively, it's a 2.5, 3 day trip.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I'm looking at your suitcase and you're using your giant go to Europe suitcase.
So what is it? I don't understand. It's not on your back. It's not like you're carrying my suitcase.
It's just a hassle.
What does it matter to you?
Just a battle. I know we're going to have to battle with your suitcase.
You're not taking it. You're not doing anything with my suitcase. We get to the airport. They take my suitcase. They put it on the conveyor.
That's true.
What are you doing? What do you care if I'm taking a purse or I'm taking a satchel?
All right. I almost took a small, like, gym bag.
Well,
I could get away with that.
You don't wear the clothes I wear.
But I took a bigger sort of black duffel bag that was like half full.
Yeah.
And you're saying, well, you could put some stuff in my suitcase.
I said,
and I'm like, I don't even need mine. It's ridiculous.
There's a difference. Okay, maybe it's a girl thing, but I don't think it's a girl thing. It's a person thing. I need to pack. Hazel understands this because she's looking at me.
Yeah.
She does the same thing. I started out with a smaller bag, and I started putting my stuff in it, and then I realized this is way too small. I have to use the big one. So I swapped it out for the big one. I have to put gym clothes, sleeping clothes, jeans, tops, alternate tops to different...
2.5 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was seeing
How
friends.
much of that went unused on the trip? Thank you, Hazel.
A lot of it, but that's okay as long as I know it's there. That's the whole point of it. And, I had to put toiletries and makeup and food that I like, it's just part of traveling. But if I don't have it, then I don't feel good about it. So what's the big deal? It's not as though you have to carry it. Oh my God, you're walking to New York with my big suitcase. You give it to the guy, he puts it on the plane.
Yeah,
it's like it irks you.
It just wears on me mentally because I have to commit mentally to we're going to have to battle with this gigantic suitcase that's almost as big as the bedroom.
But I don't understand. You're not battling. What do you have to do with the suitcase? It's my suitcase. You don't have to do anything with
jurisdiction.
it. What do you mean, your jurisdiction? You're like
I'm going to have to watch over it. In the end, the responsibility for it is going to fall back on me.
You don't own the suitcase?
Okay.
It's like, I don't know why it irks you. It's like my mother would say, I'm peeling the onions and you're crying. It's the same thing.
I like that.
I'm carrying the bag and you're complaining about it. What is it to you?
Your mother got me again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
true. I don't care if you bring a dop kit or you bring a giant, a satchel. I don't care. A steam trunk.
So this is another idiosyncrasy of mine.
Here we go. We list them.
There's a long list.
Yeah.
I give you that.
Uh-huh.
You are a saint for putting up with them.
Right.
But if I'm going to fly and I'm going to get to New York late in the day because we're going to have like an hour and a half in from the airport to the city, which we did.
Right, as usual. It's the way it is.
I'm going to do my cardio, my 1 hour cardio. I'm going to do it in the morning. Well, our flight left at 7.
Wait, you're talking about going?
Going.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it both ways.
Yeah.
But we had 2 7 a.m.s going and coming.
Did.
So here in L.A., we have a 7 a.m. flight, and we need to be in the car leaving here
at 5. Okay.
And could push it, but if the traffic's fine.
Half hour
is
fine.
And that's what it was.
Yeah.
But that required a 3 a.m. wake up.
Right.
Which didn't bother me because for 8 years, I got up at 2 a.m.
Well,
so I was actually
it didn't bother
sleeping
me
in.
because when you got up at 2 o'clock, you weren't the only one up in the house.
That's true.
I, too, were up in the house, and so was Hazel. So we all lived that insane life for 8 years.
All right. So she was nice. She got on the bike, the exercise bike.
I did because you wanted to do the treadmill, so I did the bike. Okay.
She was good about that.
Yeah.
I agree.
I always do that. If you want to do the bike, I get off of the treadmill. I
whichever
whatever
way it is.
Yeah.
it worked.
I give it up.
And we did make it, toting
plenty
your
of time.
giant, bigger than the house suitcase.
But
again, I was afraid it wouldn't even fit in the car.
A turtle with it on your back?
I stressed over, would it go in the car?
Oh, please. You act, it's a stupid Samsonite.
It's
big
stupid, all right.
luggage because they throw the luggage around. So I'm not going to buy expensive luggage. Samsonites are fine. It's nylon. It's not as heavy. It has wheels that spin on the bottom. It's fine.
Okay. So I must disqualify myself because I cannot express to you how for about 30 years, it's a long time, I traveled, it felt like as much as anybody in the world traveled because I was constantly gone.
Yeah.
These are my years in Dallas, Chicago, San Francisco. I was just on the road. The reason I took the job at ESPN to be on the show called Cold Pizza in 2004 was I just couldn't take the travel anymore. And I knew I would have to do a little bit of travel, which I did for Cold Pizza because we started going to college football games on Thursday for Friday and piggyback the game day set and do shows on the road. So I went to every,
them well.
Tuscaloosa and
College
Blacksburg
Station,
and
wherever.
South Bend, and so that wore me out. But the travel as a newspaper columnist, I went to every big event, every World Series, Super Bowl, Final Four, Masters, U.S. Open golf, British Open golf, Wimbledon.
I know.
Every playoff game. It was just on, and all the football playoff games. It's just, I was just gone. And after a while, it just wears on your psyche until you finally just hit the wall. And I just don't want to do it anymore. I don't like to travel.
Right.
Because you can't really control much of anything.
No, how can you control the air and the...
It's going to go wrong. Things are going to bite you when you least expect it. And we actually had a pretty smooth flight to New York.
Good.
And then we get in the car to go to the Carlisle, and all of a sudden we're leaving, and there's construction on whatever freeway that is going outbound.
It's the Major Deacon.
That goes right by LaGuardia.
Yeah.
So we were at JFK, obviously, on the cross-country
Major
flight.
Deacon, they've been doing construction for like 5 years.
For 5 years, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and we're going nowhere. We're in wall-to-wall gridlock.
But it is what it is. That's how you go to New York.
And I'm trying to read my phone, and I'm getting car sick. And I'm
you always have issues with that. You just don't give it up.
Okay, it's just hard because I'm on a quote unquote business trip, so my head is still in my speaking engagement, which was a big deal.
I know,
on
but
Wednesday
you don't have to do
afternoon.
anything except sit in the car.
Yeah, I got it.
You're not driving the car. You don't have the suitcase on your back. You just sit in the car.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, so we did get in, and then I got to try to keep up with the Laker game at Oklahoma City, and I can't get it on television because I don't have it. It's not on national TV.
Right.
And
here we start with all the problems.
It took a lot out of me, but now we get to the Carlisle. Okay, so I didn't think twice about it, and the company for which I did my appearance paid for the room, but it's an expensive hotel, and they put us in.
Well, it was a superior room. It's called a superior room, but we're in New York City.
I'd like to see the average one because this was
New York.
Like a walk-in closet.
That's true, but in New York City, for a less amount of money, you're not going to get a suite. That is what you get.
Okay, so this is just me.
Yes.
I like modern. You like ancient.
Right, I love old. Yes.
And so the Carlisle is old. It's kind of creepy old. It's kind of like grandmother old.
No, it's not. It's just one of the last of the best hotels in New York because it's got a feeling of it's a throwback in time. You walk in and you just feel like it's the best hotel in the world. My opinion. You feel that's where Woody Allen played every Monday night.
It does
and every star. I just sent you the video.
It has historical aura to it.
It does. Every celebrity. George Clooney lives there, has a suite. A lot of people that are major people live there because they like that. It's not a big hotel where you walk in and it's a circus with 100 kids running around and you don't see anything. It's a very civilized, they know your name. It's a very personalized hotel. And so that's what I like about it.
Okay, but right away, we went to visit the workout room just to see where it was on the third floor. And then we couldn't get the elevator to work to go up to the 12th floor to our room. And since you have been there the last time,
Yes.
they have changed the system. They used to have an elevator
Well, they have
operator.
elevator. They still do if you request.
They have actual operators.
Yes, that's one
like
of the
Blast
last
from the
hotels.
past. Yeah.
That and the Pierre Hotel in New York are the last two hotels in New York that have actual elevator operators that stand in there and they press the floor for you. That's the beauty of this
But we
hotel.
couldn't figure out. You have to
You have to
swipe
hit
your
the
key.
right. I didn't know. So
And to go up.
to go
you
to
can
your
go
room.
down. Yeah,
right.
but
you have to hold the key for the sensor and then hit the floor and then you go up. And I do not like elevators. I'm very claustrophobic. And that's why I love this hotel, because there's somebody always in the elevator with me. That's why I love that hotel. Besides, I love the hotel for other reasons. But I was paranoid because you keep hitting it and then you let the doors close and we're going nowhere. So that was a fiasco.
This is travel. It's going to happen. But
right.
usually,
but you get more upset than I do. It's like, okay.
Usually we've been blessed enough that when we go, we get a bigger room that might even have 2 bathrooms, right?
Right. But that's the last time you and I traveled to New York was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
We have not been together to New York in 8 years.
Okay.
So I think the last time you were in New York, we were living there. That's why you thought it was bigger. It was the apartment we lived
at
in.
FS1. We went right out there for an MMA.
Yeah, I don't remember where we stayed.
We did.
The Omni or somewhere. I don't
Sure
remember where they put us up.
It was more like a boutique hotel. Right?
I don't remember.
But the point was, we're in this tiny little room.
We're in a smaller room, and it's the two of us.
And she's got a suitcase that is bigger than the room.
Right, of course.
And when you open it and try to unload it, there's nowhere to unload.
Well, but I took all the things out, and then I closed it, and I put it on the side. I always do that.
I don't have anywhere to put my stuff, and the bathroom was even smaller, and there was no counter
there's no
space.
vanity place.
There's nowhere in the bathroom. Right. It's a tiny sink, and there's nowhere on the side to stack your stuff.
Right. But
except
I did
maybe
put
on the top of the toilet. Right.
So you put your DOP kit there, and then I put my stuff. I didn't lay it out. I kept it on the side.
You did.
And I even put my makeup on in a powder compact mirror. That's how I put my makeup on for the 2 days.
Okay.
Did I complain? No.
Okay.
Because I'm in New York and I'm at a beautiful hotel, and it is
falling all over each other.
Well,
and then obviously you have bathroom issues, because if you need to use the bathroom, then
what can you do?
And your friend Francesca bought us some things for the room, which was very sweet of her to do.
She always asked me what to get, and she gave us
without
everything.
even asking, she bought an air freshener for the bathroom.
No, I asked her to do that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, I did. Okay. I've been with you long enough to know things.
That one.
Yes.
Okay. So now I spray that after I use the bathroom.
Right, and then you wonder why I'm sneezing.
And now she's gagging and coughing. She says it's because the what's
air,
it called? The air
deodorizer.
Okay.
Well, I'm sneezing nonstop, but what can you do?
Okay.
But I didn't complain. I'm in New York. I'm on Madison Avenue. I'm at a beautiful hotel, and I'm happy, except for you. You're miserable.
Okay.
But as long as you can watch the Masters, you're okay.
The Masters was coming on
Thursday.
Wednesday was the par 3 tournament, so
Okay.
I did want to watch that. But I'm geared up for my speaking
Right, you
engagement
did
on
your
Wednesday
event,
night.
right.
But we wind up going to a little diner that you love, which is like the all-time greatest diner in the
best diner
history
in
of the
the
world.
world.
It's called Three Guys on Madison.
Right across on Madison and 75th and 6th.
Between
That's
6th,
4th and 5th.
Okay,
Whatever.
4th and 5th?
Yeah, because you're going down.
No, but it's on 76, so you just turn left. So it's between 75th and 76th.
Yeah.
And it's just right there. And we go in.
Best food in the world.
And on the first night, she sees Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin was there.
Only
and I love
Murders
Murders in the
Building,
Building, but I love him from way back.
Yeah, but he's Mr. New York.
It was in the morning. We were having breakfast.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
we went before.
Yeah. We went the night before. We had dinner there.
Yeah.
Then in the morning, we had breakfast early.
This is
like 8:30 in the morning.
This is like what you call a 3-star diner on appearance, and you go in and it's 5-star. Your food is 5-star.
I mean,
LA doesn't have food like this.
No, they don't even have diners like this. This is a regular New York diner.
And people say, can you eat on the road? You can eat there because they get it. They'll do exactly what you want.
And they serve your food in less than a minute.
Like in a minute. And the waiters are so sharp and savvy. They're like, go.
I want the eggs, no butter, no oil.
Yeah.
I want them really well done.
They don't even write it down, and they nail it every time.
And they bring it, and it's perfect.
And they'll bring if you soup or any appetizer, you're going to get it in like 1 minute. You're going to get your main course in 5 minutes.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's going to be perfect.
And it's very nice. You're not sitting on top of other people. And then Steve Martin walked in with his wife, and he sat 2 booths away from us.
Yeah.
It was like
3 guys.
I was in heaven.
Yeah. One of our friends asked us, where are you going out to eat? And we're like, we go to 3 guys. And he's saying, well, what are you doing? Because if he came to L.A., he's come to L.A. and we take him out to Mastro's or wherever. We went to Mastro's.
To me, I'd rather eat in a diner. I loved everything from, I had the eggs that were really well done. I like them burned beyond.
Yeah.
They burned my eggs. I had that wrap was delicious. I had it 2 days in a row. And the soup was delicious.
I got a piece of salmon cooked dry.
That looked
and it was
amazing.
Huge. It was like
that could
twice
feed 2 people. Yeah, that was enough.
It was like the whole salmon.
Right.
And then I got a giant scoop of brown rice.
Yeah.
It was just perfect.
So good.
And I got steamed broccoli that was just
perfect. And the bagels were
perfect.
great. The bagels.
It's the best. I could eat there twice a day, every day.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. So
then
it's a neighborhood place.
Then for the speaking engagement, which I will tell you about a little later as it transpires.
In the big reveal.
But the point is that we had to go way deep into Brooklyn Bushwick, Brooklyn. And it was just hard to get there because there's no thoroughfare. There's no freeway to it. You go over the Brooklyn Bridge, and then all of a sudden it's left, right, left, right, and you're getting car sick, and you're like, God, is this ever going to end? And it took over an hour to get there, a little less coming back because the driver was like Richard Petty of Uber type drivers, right?
Yeah,
and yet the engagement that I did was
great.
It was special. It worked.
It was great,
and it wore me out. But we had to come right back, because Luca was going to play at Dallas. Right. So this is where her life collides with mine, because I'm going to watch this game because it's going to be on ESPN, and I'm going to post a video about said game. Right. But now I didn't have any equipment, so we're just in the tiny little hotel room, so she had to shoot the video. Uh-huh. And she has a great steady cam hand.
Right, but holding it after like 3, 4, 5 minutes, my arm is getting tired.
15, 14 minutes.
And then I had to switch arms and make sure I wasn't doing
But you could have juggled.
But whatever.
Okay, and then I told her, I'm going to talk some to you, and you can talk back, and it'll be on the video, which is fine. Whatever. And she didn't really get that, but she goes through this.
Right.
And then it's time to wind down. Well, we don't have Apple Plus TV.
Then you had to work out.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I had to go work out. I did that before the game, though.
Right. And that was when I took the opportunity to escape. And I walked to my favorite store in the world, which is Bloomingdale's on 59th Street. And I walked around.
And she is a solitary walker. She sort of grew up walking in the city.
Yeah, it's my life. It's so to me, I went to the magazine stand. They remembered me. I walked over to Bloomingdale's. I walked around. I looked in the shoe department. I didn't buy anything, but I just walked, and I felt like I was part of the world again. I felt like I was part of the world.
Well, you walk here in L.A., but you don't feel the same.
It's not the same way. Plus, Bloomingdale's, there's a Bloomingdale's here. It doesn't compare to a Bloomingdale's in New York City.
Hazel is rapt listening to you.
She knows, because she says, I want to go to that Bloomingdale's. That Bloomingdale's is like the epitome of a store. Just to go walk around, you don't have to buy anything, but the energy in there is just the best. So
it's time to wind down. By the way, I did go by myself to work out, and nobody was in there, and it was one of the best workouts I've ever had.
See?
I got going. I was energized from the speaking engagement. That's what I did. I did my cardio in the morning, and on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I lift weights at night. And I really had fun doing that.
I normally do that too, but I opted to go to Bloomingdale's and walk.
Good for
50 blocks.
Okay, so now we're winding down, and this always happens to us on the road because we don't have access to Amazon Prime or Netflix. Right. And all of a sudden, you're just flipping around on TV trying to watch. They did have a lot
of movies in the hotel.
They had some, but this is like a 20-minute wind down, and we got to go to sleep.
Right.
And we start watching Family Guy, which we used to watch once upon a time, but we're watching episodes that are like, could they be
2000 or something,
20 years old?
Yeah, they
and they're still funny.
They're funny.
And
Stewie is
watched
my favorite.
some Seinfeld, which I rarely ever watched.
I used to watch, but haven't watched in a long time.
And we got into
that was funny. It was funny.
One episode. We saw one episode from
1996, wasn't it?
Six?
Yeah, I think it was 6.
And it was about masturbation. And we were like, what? How did they get away with
So
this?
funny.
They didn't say masturbation, but they
No.
said, they had a contest about
Still the
who
king
won't.
of the castle.
Yeah, are you still the master of your domain?
Yeah.
Are you still the queen of your castle?
Right. It
For
was
what's her
funny
name? Yeah.
for Elaine
Elaine.
with with John F. Kennedy Jr.
Okay, it was
God
so long
rest his
ago.
soul.
They're talking about John F. Kennedy
Yeah.
Jr. He's not actually in it, but she's got the hots for
Yeah.
him from the health club,
Yeah.
and
And he
then,
wants to meet her at 9:00 at night.
yeah, and she is going to go down and meet him. But there's this woman across the street who, okay, I don't know if it must be across the street,
like across the courtyard.
courtyard.
He sees her,
and
she walks around
apartment.
nude in the apartment.
And so they're all
building.
watching, but they're having a hard time
Right.
not doing that because they're watching the woman.
Right.
It was very well done and very funny.
Oh, it was funny.
And
I'm sure people know it because everybody watched Seinfeld.
Ultimately pretty tasteful, and it worked.
It was funny.
Okay.
We had a
Hey,
good time.
okay.
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay.
And
All
then
right.
after that, we watched.
Then we started watching The Office, which I have never watched.
I watched
and,
once or twice. My sister loves that
and it was
show.
funny. And we're watching one that's from ancient times, right?
Steve Carell was so good.
Yeah.
The whole cast. John
Kaczynski was
Kaczynski and
And I
my
finally,
God.
somebody referred to on the show
Yeah.
that look where he looks
Yeah.
at the camera, where he's constantly going,
right.
Yeah,
And so
told
that
you so.
was what you were
so
like.
they're
yeah.
constantly playing to the camera or talking, breaking the third wall
know.
and talking to the audience.
It's like we discovered something that has
yeah,
been
and
around.
people are laughing at us right now. You don't
You never
even
saw
know
that.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. But
Anyway, so that was fun.
But then I get stuck on the cardio equipment, and it's no good. It's not what we have here in
Right,
LA.
right.
And yet you had a great sighting because Colin Jost,
Colin
I think
Jost
he
walked
lives
in.
there.
Yeah.
I think he.
It was great with
what's her
Scarlett
name?
Johansson.
Yeah.
And I was leaving the gym, and he opened the door right on me, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then I looked, and it was him. His baseball cap on. So it was 2 good sightings: Steve Martin and Colin.
Yeah. And then on Thursday, I actually took a day off, and we saw 3 friends, 2 of hers, 1 of ours.
Yeah,
And it was really good.
we had fun. Yeah,
We had fun, and it all worked. Sometimes those things just click.
right.
And it was really good to see
It was cold.
our doctor, your dermatologist, best friend, and an orthopedic surgeon.
All of our friends are
who's a friend of
doctors.
ours. Yeah, they're all We saw 3 doctors in one day, but we didn't even
We
go
didn't
to the
need
doctor.
any
Yeah.
medicating.
Okay. And then we got up at 3 a.m. again to go to the
Come back.
bad cardio equipment to do an hour.
Right. We did a
before we
workout at
go
3 a.m. on
to
Friday morning.
JFK. We did. And yet we got back by about 10:30 in the
10:30.
morning.
It was a good
And
flight.
It was a good flight. And it's always after you're gone from her. But remember, in her lifetime, Hazel's lifetime, I don't think we've taken any together
We've
vacations.
never been- no.
We went to Palm Springs a couple of times when she was young, but we took her. So she's never been here without both of
Right.
us for 3 days.
Right.
And so
My sister stayed over.
Her sister stayed. We have a housekeeper who watched
Came,
over.
during the day.
And who sort of bonded with her a little bit.
Yeah.
So she had some company. But here's the point. When we walked in the door, I told you so on this. Who did she miss the most? Who did she go to first?
I think it was even.
She went to you. She
No,
went to
you
her.
walked in before me, and then she was going nutty, 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 nutty. And then I walked in, and she came over to me.
But
I
she
think
stayed with you.
Yeah, but I
Because she
think
missed her mom.
Yeah.
She missed her mom the most. And her mom was the one because you feed her and she sleeps beside
Well, I
you.
talk to her like
yeah.
she's,
Yeah, I know.
you know, a little baby.
I don't talk to her like she's a little baby.
No,
I
you talk to her like she's an athlete.
That's true.
She's
me.
Hazel, the NBA player.
She's very happy, right? She's been the happiest she's ever been
she
for the
said,
last
"Look,
3 days.
they're
since we've
back.
been
I might
back."
as well not do anything bad because they'll go away again."
So the bottom line is, and this could be an all-time clash to the point of a marriage ender.
Oh God, here we
I'm
go.
just not sure I could ever live in New York again. And,
Well,
and
that's
you
not a
miss it
surprise.
so badly.
That's
You
not a
just-
surprise.
I know, you're going to go back pretty soon.
I am. I'm going to go back, but I got to go get my ID.
I know.
That
we gotta get
ID, everybody, I don't
We
know if
still
these
don't
people
have
know. I'm sure
whatever it's
everybody
called.
does in every state. They have to get that ID.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Here
I
it's gonna
can't
be a
fly.
battle. That's true.